Well, it's probably the hottest week of the summer, so it's inevitable that school begins again. You've seen a few of these. What's it like for you?
Yeah, it's more like Benidorm than Plymouth out there at the moment. Yeah, really excited to get back. Start of term is always exciting, but I think we're just desperate to try and get back to some form of normality as quickly as possible. We've had a really good couple of days training with the staff. I've got a new deputy head in Claire Jones who's joined us, who's going to make a real difference, I think, to the quality of teaching in our classroom. So the feeling around the place is really positive. The staff are ready, we're ready, and we can't wait to welcome the students back tomorrow.
Some of the students you'll be welcoming will be here for the first time, won't they? Year 7. They had a summer school, which I thought went very well as well. So that must be a special sort of moment of pride for the teachers that they're welcoming new students.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some anxious parents out there of Year 7 students, you know, thinking about the first day at school. We've got a massive advantage this year. We had over 160 of the students in over the summer. They've got to know the staff, they've got to know their way around. So some of those kind of early teething problems that you sometimes come across in September, we're hoping we'll be through those. And we had a fabulous group of students in the summer, so they made a really good impression on us. We can't wait to welcome them formally as our new Year 7 students. In a nice way though, they'll also be coming in on their first day back with our Year 11 and our sixth form students, so we've got the bottom and the top end coming in together.
Well, those Year 7 students probably had the most strange of their final year at primary school, and it was a very odd year and a bit really for teachers, students alike. Yeah. How are things progressing on the COVID front at school?
They've had it really tough, you know, the students. Whether it's the Year 6 students coming to us, the Year 11 students have had 2 years of learning disrupted, but they're remarkably resilient. Yeah, we've still got some measures in place, so we are going to follow the national guidelines. That's all we can do really. We're going to insist that students and staff continue to wear masks, particularly in communal areas. So when they're travelling around the school, when they're in their social areas, we're going to say that masks within the classrooms are optional, because as I said, that's us following the guidance. We think assemblies are vitally important. They're a key way of us establishing our culture with the students. So we're going to go ahead with assemblies. We are saying if we've got staff that are really uncomfortable in that situation, that they can opt out. And equally, if we get parents contacting us saying that they're not comfortable with their students going into that kind of situation, then obviously we'll respect that as well. The biggest logistical problem for us has been arranging for every student to have the opportunity to be tested twice within the first week. So some of those tests have already taken place over the last 2 days, but every student in the school will have had the opportunity to have had 2 COVID tests. It's optional, not mandatory, but they'll have had the opportunity to have had 2 tests within their first 10 days at school. So yeah, we're following the guidance. We're just hoping and praying that we get a clear run now, that we can get the students back in, we can keep them in. We've got enough students in, enough staff in, to teach the students, and that we can have a good run through. That's been the hardest bit about the last 2 years. It's been stop, start, and you lose that normal kind of rhythm of the year and that normal flow. So we're hoping to get back to normal as soon as possible, but we're really excited about it.
And you will have learned a lot from the last year that you can put into practice in the coming year.
Yeah, we're not doing it for the first time anymore, are we? So we should know what we're doing by now. We do know what we're doing by now. So it's becoming more of an inconvenience to us than anything else, rather than a logistical problem now. We know what we have to do. We just hope we don't have to be doing it too often.
You mentioned testing. There's been a lot of talk about vaccination for under 16s, under 15s, young kids. Is there guidance? Is there protocol? Is there a sort of view that the school holds on that, or is that very much an individual thing?
At the moment, the guidance is about as clear as mud, and I know, and parents I think find this hard to believe sometimes, but I know as much as they do. I've been given no instructions by anybody to vaccinate students in school at this stage. So at the moment it's conjecture, it's hearsay. all I think I can do as the head teacher at Lipson is follow the guidance as it's presented to us. But at the moment, I've got no news about vaccinations taking place in school. We don't even know whether vaccinations for under 18s, under 16s are going to take place at all. So I'd rather not guess.
Yeah.
We'll wait until we get the guidance and then we'll follow it as we have done throughout if we think it's appropriate.
One of the things that did change in the school year last year, especially, was examination.
Yeah.
I mean, that became a very complex procedure, I think, in assessing students. Is there any guidance, any idea about whether that's going to smooth out?
Again, I'm assured it will be coming any day. It hasn't come yet, so we're starting the term without the guidance. It puts us in a difficult position. Look, I genuinely believe our Year 11 and Year 13 students last year left Lipson with the grades that they deserved. The staff worked tirelessly to make sure that happened, and we've had a tiny number of appeals against the grades that were given to the students. So I'm pretty confident that 99.9% of our students have left not only with the grades that we feel that they deserve, but the grades that they and their parents felt they deserved. So we did something right. I guess we've got to prepare for all eventualities. We might have formal public exams next year, and if we do, we're ready for it. I hope that's the case, if I'm honest. But if we're not at that stage by May, June next year, then we'll make sure that our assessment procedures, our mock exams, our exam timetables that we follow between now and then are as rigorous as they can possibly be.
Just one last thing to finish with. It's not all about sort of the 8 till 3, 9 till 3 education here. I know I was speaking with some of the teachers, and there's a wide range of after-school activities being introduced for the first time.
Yeah, this is one of the things that Lipson traditionally has done really well. Our music, our PE, our dance, our drama, our Duke of Edinburgh, our trips, our visits, big part of the school. And we've really missed that in the last 18 months. We've tried our best to keep it going.
Yeah.
But that's the bit that the kids remember, that's the bit that they enjoy. So we're desperate to get that programme up and running. As usual, we're not going to be cautious. We don't just want to do it quite well, we want to be outstanding in everything we do. So we've got a really ambitious, wider extracurricular programme. I just hope we're given the wherewithal to be able to carry it out.
Let's do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.